Hey everyone, my name is Hannah Terry. This is my EDRD project for our final. I'm going to be talking about the game that I made. It's called Tap Map Build. So I just have a piece of paper here. It's really simple. You could obviously make it look a lot more cute and creative, but just for the purpose of explaining it, I just have it really simple right here. Basically how this works is it's phonological practice, helping them with their phonics for students. You could do this for really any grade because you can make it easier or harder. The version I have is going to be pretty easy today, pretty simple, just so you can get an idea of how the game works. So for introducing the game, basically you have different lines or boxes on your chart. So basically how it works is there'll be a letter on each line, and the longer line on the bottom would be like the full word. So I'll kind of explain as I go. So I'll show you two examples. The first example will be 3 letters and the next one will be 4 letters, so kind of an easier and a harder version for the examples. So this game supports students in the letter name alphabetic stage of their development, spelling and learning. It's really for spelling and them understanding the sound, like they can point to it and figure it out. So the whole point is they're like tapping, they're mapping it out, and they're building the word, hence the name, so they can point, they can visually see and figure it out themselves. So it targets phonics skills like CVC words, short vowels, beginning and final consonant sounds, like beginning, starting words, everything like that. And like I said, this is a really basic chart. You could obviously make it look a lot more cute and creative, but for the purpose of this video, so I'm just going to draw some examples for a little demo for the game. So the word that I'm going to be starting with is dog. So they'd have their little pencil, whatever, the student, and you'd be like, okay, your word is going to be dog. So they would tap it and they would map it out, build the word, figure it out, and then sound it out too. So say dog, duh, what's that? It's D. So they'd write down D, and then duh, g, dog, O-G. They'd spell it out. So D-O-G. So they kind of have that right there. And then they could point and you'd be like, what's this? What's that sound make? What's this sound make? What's that? Like, this is the starting, this is the end. Like, you kind of play around with it and they're like, okay, like, I know this is dog. And then they'll spell it out fully on the bottom. Just like that. So they're tapping dog. So they're tapping, they're mapping it out, they're kind of building the word, and this is the final word, dog. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But that's like a little demo for that one. Now you could also do it with the 4-letter word as well. So I'm going to do frog. So same thing like I was just saying, that you tell them, okay, now let's do frog. Let's think of how it sounds, how you spell it. Frog. Like, kind of help them figure it out and use their phonics. So we will do, I'll write this down on each of the boxes. So here we go, we have frog. Sorry, I'm just now realizing it's flipped. I'll see if I can like flip the video so it's not mirrored, so you can actually kind of see it better. But anyway, so they'll write that, and then write it in all the 4 boxes, and then they would write the full word underneath, just like below. It's just a little harder because it's 3 letters instead of, 4 letters instead of 3. So underneath they would put frog, and we have that. So this is really good for spelling. And then also, like I said, if you want to make it harder, you could be like, what's this sound make? What's that sound make? Is this a vowel? Is this a like, you can kind of do a lot with it. There's a lot of freedom and range in what you can do here. And then how to make the game a little harder, for the students who are very solid with their CVC patterns, which is, again, like, this is very CVC, like those type of patterns and stuff. For students that are really comfortable with that and know what they're doing, you can level it up by adding blends, more vowel like combinations, like ship, chat, train, different things like that. Kind of like we did for frog, how it was 4 letters instead of 3, instead of just CVC, it was 4 letters. So you do something like that too. And then, like I said, the number of boxes, or like the lines, would change based on the phonemes in each word, or how many vowels in each word. If you really want to take it a step further, I was thinking about this too, you could add like another box maybe above, and the student could write like which one's the vowel, point out which one is the vowel. So for this, they'd be like, oh, that's the vowel. Same for frog and whatever you decide to do. So that's my game, tap map build. Very simple, but you can do a lot with it. You can make it really fun, you can make it creative. And my initial idea was just for this to be with the student and the teacher, but you can also do it in pairs or groups. You can make it competitive, make it really fun for them. So yeah, it has phonics, the CVC, like I was saying, and decoding, like all those things. So that's my game. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it makes sense. It's pretty clear, but that's my video.